So if you don't know what GTA Roleplay is, or GTA RP as it's most commonly called, it's basically a coping mechanism, where you play a facade of someone you want to be who is better than you in every single way, in a server with about 100 people doing the same thing. It's something like that. But GTA RP is something that has arguably extended the life of GTA 5 except from the modding scene and the online multiplayer, where it's the same as an infantryman in the first battle of Saigon 1968, because the only thing happening there is you're essentially the server's public cumrag and are treated as such, especially if you are the lowest level in the lobby. But anyway, GTA RP. GTA RP took platforms like YouTube and mainly Twitch by storm in 2019 due to content creation servers like NoPixel RP, which back then became infested with every content creator possible. It was basically cockroaches that discovered the open honey packet that was content, and a thriving trend at the time. You had XQC, Sodapoppin, Greek, MoonMoon, Saikuna, and even Pokemon at one point, and the regular players that had been streaming on that server for years had to now coexist and live through the experience that was the equivalent of babysitting the mentally inept. So basically the average Twitch streamer.
Look, it's SpongeBob!
Because it's surprisingly hard to play GTA RP. In some servers you have to be in character 24/7, and in more extreme servers you may face punishment for breaking other people's immersion.
Damn it, it was X.
It was X?
Damn it, it was X.
Make sure he's in
cuffs. How does he know that? Wait, how does he know that?
Be advised.
Just turned around and
Wait, this guy is metagaming while dead. What the f?
This makes it hard to explain mechanics within the game, or if someone has unfortunately locked themselves in an infinite Macarena in the middle of an RP cancer diagnosis. But they usually use terms like use your Alt F4 muscle to get out of that.
Alright, flex your G muscle.
Yeah.
And normally you can't just kill other players out of nowhere, or cause havoc like a usual GTA server, because you have to essentially craft a character and a story, and let that story develop through events and interactions with other players. And through those developments and the personality of your character, sometimes you are constrained by what you can actually do in-game, and you have to be constantly asking yourself, would my character do this? Or it may be considered fail RP. Or you could just be a f***ing cat, those little shits will do anything.
Dude, hurry up, man. This shit takes forever.
Up.
It actually takes forever. And no one
cooking meth.
GTA RP has been around in one form or another since 2015, and has allowed people who have taken their role-playing and character seriously to potentially make an income and do this full time. And from a content creation perspective, you have to put a lot of effort into this. You have to be both entertaining and have an interesting character that viewers can be invested in with almost every interaction, especially with other players.
Wrong one, you fat. You fat You fat. You fat.
GTA RP was and is still very popular. Once again, with servers like NoPixel becoming popular in 2019, you saw a slew of content creators and viewers flood the scene. If you were able to get whitelisted on one of these servers and stream it around its peak, you were almost guaranteed viewership, like you were a VTuber in 2020. Before it got oversaturated, obviously. And GTA RP once again saw another peak in popularity in 2021, with the launch of NoPixel 3.0, allowing for more mods, bespoke systems, and even more capabilities, most of which developed by the NoPixel dev team that deepened and made the role-playing experience more entertaining. I personally loved the 24-hour cozy XQC streams. As one, I learned a new language.
No, I'm happy for that, but I seen some of these documentaries, I ain't believe none of that. Hey, the game government ain't no getting no one in the best sample, no give my 3D.
And sometimes it was the perfect NyQuil for sleeping. You also have Red Dead Redemption RP, which is also a thing. But GTA RP has its disadvantages and its somewhat dark sides. From the people that play it and their characters' questionable interactions, to the servers themselves. And that's what this video is about, as GTA RP can be equally entertaining and horrifying, simply down to the personalities that play it and the people hosting the experience.
Why you gotta be such a
So when you're getting into GTA RP as a role player, there's a few prerequisites you have to do before jumping straight in. First, you have to choose a server you want to join. Some servers have different mods, different time settings. Some are based in the 90s, some are based in the future. I'm just waiting for one based in the prehistoric times with cavemen, and obviously each server has different rules. There's even hardcore servers, where if your character dies, there is no respawning, there is no paramedics to save you, and your story and the friends you've made die with them. And if you make a new character, you basically have to act like a stranger to people you were probably previously well associated with. But some servers don't even allow you to join straight up. First, you have to pass something equivalent to an interview, going over things like your character and previous RP experience, before you can even join. This is the application process, and for some servers you first have to pay a fee just to submit your application and have someone look at it. Probably looking at a character you've based off yourself, and they found it way too boring and got confused why you listed under character traits. So look at decide whether they're eroded brain, if they have ADHD, or they're just mentally inadequate, and the fact they use Twitter and 4chan to goon other than conventional websites. But they will evaluate your character and past experience and decide if you are a good fit for the server. If not, and you're denied, you'll have to pay the same fee again to send another application. For more popular servers, you may need to pay on the high end $50 a month, so you get priority queuing and don't have to wait around with the free-to-play peasants, and now you're finally on the server. But the prices don't stop there. Some servers are pay to win, so you can buy in-game currency from the server, which realistically may impact your character's story. You can pay for specific mods or items or even vehicles to be added to the server. I think the average Audi driver would improve their immersion by not only being a cockwomble IRL, but also doing it in GTA. Absolute scum of the earth. You can also pay for specific jobs and roles to be implemented onto the server. Yes, GTA RP is a lot like Gmod Dark RP, but GTA makes a lot more money, and I mean a lot. You'd be surprised by how many people actually are willing to spend their money on these servers. But some GTA servers are a lot more pay to win than others. I managed to get in contact with someone that is very active in the GTA RP community, and there is no shortage of people that want to spend their money, and definitely not a shortage of mods or server owners that will take that money. This person saw someone put $10,000 IRL into the server for an RP gang war that went towards buying in-game guns and sprays. Sprays were used on the server to claim areas for gangs within the server. But 10k, that is at least one Warhammer full army, or about 50,000 spins on a slot machine. The person I was in contact with also went on to say that some of the people playing the game developed an unhealthy addiction to the game, dedicating their entire lives to it, to the point where they eat, sleep and defecate this game, with some players having 12 to 14 hour shifts playing the game, some believing they actually have a responsibility within the game doing their RP job. And RP jobs and activities are very tedious and very time consuming. On some servers, things like selling drugs requires you to wait 10 IRL hours to grow the full product, and on top of that you have to water it every hour. And a lot of people do this because they need to grind money in the server. It's almost like your average Rust player, but at least they'll stop when they've had their base they spent 100 hours on grinding, raided by the over 20-man Chinese clan, or they'll just move on to the next server, rinse and repeat. And you have people that take this and the RP experience extremely seriously, to the point where the person I was talking to said they've experienced people that have neglected their own lives just to grind for themselves on the server or for their gang. And it can be quite addicting. But they went out of their way to clarify it's not actually the community making it this way, it's more the server owners, as some purposely make it hard to progress as an incentive to either pay to win or to sink a tremendous amount of time on the server. It almost seems a bit predatory, along with things like the price gouging and high prices for things in the game. But, and are you ready for this? It's this channel's signature slogan, and if you get it right in the comments, you get a single Oreo that was the aftermath of a soggy biscuit game. But, are you ready? it gets much worse. Because on the more extreme side of some of these mods and server owners, if they couldn't extract enough money out of these poor husks that are more interested in living a fictional life than their real life, if perchance you find yourself getting banned for either taking the game too seriously, fail RP, RDMing somebody, which is just killing someone without a reason, obtaining information that you found through not actually playing the game or finding out yourself, like watching someone's Twitch stream, or for no reason you are subsequently banned, some of these servers require you to pay upwards of $1,000 just to get unbanned and get a hit of GTA RP. No ticket system, no appeal system, just straight up give us your money, you're forgiven, and we hope you learned your lesson. And surprisingly, a lot of people pay this price, unfortunately. Now, a specific case study I found was the server PMA RP. Admittedly, this server didn't have that bad of a case of price gouging. But the problem more lies with the server owner, as I was able to find multiple Reddit posts condemning the server, many regarding it as the worst GTA RP server, which just sounds like a similar naming convention to my videos. And I found a full document regarding the server owner. But in one of the posts with 1,500 hours just on that server, they speak about their dissatisfaction with their experience on the server, mainly due to the server owner and their antics. And this is a common occurrence among all the Reddit posts I've found about the server. And just to list a few, randomly punishing players for no reason, interfering with roleplay and gameplay just because they could, and most of the time, being a man-child. But the document was significantly worse. I'm talking 50 pages of literal sulfuric acid in my eyes, just about the things this guy has done as a server owner. And this server's owner name was Chris. Now, this document is from the perspective of a paid mod of the server that was wrongfully terminated and still owed IRL possessions and money, all from a server they alleged makes $100,000 a month. The mod's name was Mickey. Mickey had left her job teaching to become a full-time member of this server, working 12 to 18 hours a day and still being ridiculed by Chris when she was not on the server doing things like sleeping because, 12 to 18 hour shifts are not mentally draining at all. Now, it's important to note, these two were in a relationship. Yes, Chris was dating one of his mods, and even eventually paid to fly her out to him. And in this document they show screenshots of personal messages between them and Chris. But going back to when she was visiting, he reassured her, the mod, that they were going to see each other again shortly, so she ended up leaving some of her possessions behind. This included her laptop and some clothes, because once again she thought she would be back. But it's also important to note at this time Chris was married but separated with his wife. His wife's name was Madison, and she was even a part of the GTA RP server and knew about the relationship between the two, to the point where Mickey the mod and the wife had a conversation about it, and both seemed fine with each other. Now, almost as soon as the mod gets back from the trip, Chris gets overly distant, very dismissive of the mod's health, who was apparently his girlfriend at the time, and even when Mickey the mod brings up the fact he's getting very distant and there is relatively no intimacy anymore, I'm talking a full paragraph, he just responds with something about server drama. Now, unbeknownst to Mickey, Chris was talking to his wife again and other girls on the server. So he was apparently cheating on her with his wife and other girls on the server. It is such a clusterfuck. Now, in their last conversation, the mod, Mickey, the girlfriend, confronts him on the server out of character, and Mickey just wants a sliver of reassurance to maintain the relationship, and Chris basically responds by saying, "Fuck you, I'm playing GTA RP. I don't have time to talk about our IRL relationship right now. I'm cosplaying as an entirely different person on a video game."
Entirely. Oh, we'll see what happens. You know, I disagree. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
Okay. Well, I'm a little upset.
I'll be
and
guarding El Doro.
I need my sweetie. I'm a little upset. Can you not beat it for me when I'm upset?
I'm literally stuck at the door. I
yeah,
can't do anything but door.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not like you're out there for me. It's okay.
I literally have to hold the door, or people are going to come in and call names and shoot people.
Okay. Yeah. Well, enjoy that. I just want, a little bit of comfort once in a while. sometimes, hopefully, maybe.
I can't do it.
And for some reason, she does not give up there. She once again tries to get reassurance, asking if he loves her, and he simply replies with, he only loves the business.
Do you love me?
So right now, the only thing I love is the business. I'm focused on nothing but the business right now.
The business he was actively ruining himself with his own reputation and antics he was conducting on the server, but he reiterates multiple times he only cares about the business and doesn't have time for their relationship, but can't decide if he wants to break up with her or not, whilst once again talking to his separated wife and other girls.
I don't want to end anything with you, because I genuinely love you, and I'm willing
to be happy. It's very obvious. You need someone who's going to sit there and be, comforting and want to, be there for you at all hours. I'm never going to be that. My focus is the business. The business has to survive. You have to be okay with that, which you never will be, because you're going to want more and more. You want to be nurtured and held and all that other stuff. I'm not that guy.
Breaking up with me?
No, I never said that, but it's not what you want, obviously, right? That's the thing. You want my full focus, right? Like, you want that, but I'll never be able to provide that.
Now what it boils down to is the mod gets removed from the server after this conversation, gets blocked on everything by Chris, and the mod Mickey still doesn't have her possessions or laptop that she left with Chris hoping she would come back. And it gets even worse because he allegedly tries to sell her laptop to other people on the server, and some of the 12 to 18 hour shifts she did still goes unpaid from a server that apparently makes $100,000 a month. Now obviously this isn't every server or every server owner, this is just an example of one of the most extreme cases I found, and the server itself rightfully has a reputation of a stale, stagnant cum shot. But there are other servers that have been asking YouTubers like Bub Games to advertise their scam servers, in which Bub showed the worst of the server, including their $300 battle pass. But once again, not all GTA RP servers are like this, but they do make a lot of money. But if you did think these servers were bad, the players are just as worse.
Stupid mistakes, man.
So some players of GTA RP take it way too seriously. You've had instances where people have been banned on platforms like Twitch for ERPing on GTA, which stands for erotic roleplay, so people are gooning in the game. But a lot of people have found good friends and even relationships through GTA RP, and some people roleplay relationships within the game whilst they have a significant other. In the IRL world, just to add, imagine being cooked through GTA Roleplay. That is a horrifying thought. But GTA RP holds a lot of personalities, both streamers and just regular players. But with so many personalities, not everything would be so chemo-chi, especially in the streaming environment. Remember I mentioned literally 10 seconds ago about being cooked in GTA, with your partner getting involved with a GTA RP partner, and it's just roleplay, honey. You're so insecure. Why would I cheat on you with a GTA NPC? It did actually happen. Enter MoonMoon, everyone's favourite bald streamer, sorry Tyler1. A popular streamer known for his Overwatch days and later GTA RP. MoonMoon was unknowingly separated from his IRL wife at the time, and had begun interacting a lot with his GTA wife, Diva Gilu, somebody that was still married. And in September of 2024, all hell broke loose. Diva's IRL husband would take to the internet and tell everyone he had essentially been cheated on with his wife's GTA RP husband. And both of them met at TwitchCon, which is a convention for streamers and viewers, and had sexual relations. And she wasn't just communicating with MoonMoon, she was communicating with a lot of other guys. Sexually explicit stuff. So the IRL husband had been cooked by the GTA RP husband, and then the GTA RP husband and wife met up at TwitchCon and had sex. Now the husband could have stopped there, he could have just let us all know it happened and left us with our sanity, but no, he decided to show the screenshot of the messages between the two, and oh god. You know, I'm not kink shaming, you know, these were private messages, we've probably all done worse. This is probably on the same level of 10% of the messages you've been sending to that alt-twink femboy. But Jesus, we did not need to see those messages. Now the outcome of this whole situation, MoonMoon had to come out and tell everyone he's not with his wife anymore, so MoonMoon was not cheating on his IRL wife. Gillette, the best a man can get. but he was under the assumption it was an open marriage and he was told as such.
Do you think you were lied to about the open marriage thing, or is the other guy on Xannies? I asked multiple times. I was like, is that truly the case? And she said yes, and I believe her. I don't really...
The wife that cheated came out and said, oh, they were only married for tax purposes. You know, I hate taxes, but I wouldn't get married to somebody else just to avoid them. But she basically came out and said she was the victim here. And the general consensus from the internet, nobody really cared. It wasn't concrete evidence. She didn't really prove that they were married for only tax reasons. And the husband even responded promptly afterwards saying it was all bullshit and they were in love. But once again, nobody really cared. They were just happy that MoonMoon didn't cheat on his wife and in fact cheated with somebody else's wife. Bottom of the line is, if your significant other is playing GTA RP, it's GG's next game. Now, all of that is not nearly as bad as the Savx situation. Savx was an important member of the NoPixel server. He was entertaining, he had rivals with other creators, and his character Johnny Castle was basically woven into the NoPixel server at this point. But it would not last long, because around the same time in late 2020, Savx would unfortunately die. IRL, not in game.
This is not Sav writing this. Sav passed away Christmas afternoon.
And this was a big shock to the community and the NoPixel server, and a funeral was held on the server with all the players present, and his name was engraved permanently on one of the tombstones on the server for all the players to see. But obviously, the story doesn't end there. You think I would bluntly mention a dude dying IRL with no remorse? It does sound like something I would do. But it turns out before he died, he was in deep controversy. He had been caught using aimbot on the NoPixel server. Aimbot in a role-playing server. It's like using contraception with a fleshlight. Don't tell me it's easy to clean up. You're all degenerates if you think that. But he was essentially getting roasted from all corners of the internet for using aimbot on a role-playing server. But that didn't last long because, unfortunately, he did die. And a lot of people were mourning him, including his close friends. But it's just fortunate he had a totem of undying when he died. Because believe it or not, he was not dead. He just wanted all of his friends and the internet believe he was. Now imagine your friend just died and you've just got over mourning them. Then they fucking send you a message on Discord like the Lord on the third day of return and making light of the situation. Because that's exactly what he did. He sent a Discord message to someone he made believe they were dead, but don't worry, his account could have been hacked. Well, it wasn't, because Coil, the co-owner of NoPixel and lead developer, paid a private investigator to investigate the situation, and yeah, he was still alive.
We got someone to investigate some shit, like hired a guy or people, and it's 100% confirmed that he's alive, by the way. There's literally zero doubt. Actual evidence, okay? So we got all this information, but obviously I can't release it because that's pretty much doxing.
So he faked his own death to avoid criticism for cheating on a server, just to get clowned on by the same people, even worse, for faking your own death.
I believe at the time of his faked death Chris Angel stunt, he had right around 1,500 subs on Twitch, which he just fucking wiped his ass with this. Just threw it all away for this fake death thing, which is like right out of Hey Arnold with that Dino Spumoni character.
This is not peak cinema, this is ghetto cinema. This is watching two crackheads fight over a ball of cocaine. But obviously since then, he has not returned to the internet.
4 big guys, and they grab on my thighs, blow up my guts like the 4th of July.
Now that was a quick insight into the quite possibly worst side of GTA RP from the players to the servers, but I think GTA RP is genuinely entertaining either to play or watch somebody else do. But admittedly, I don't know anything about playing it, I only know about watching it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to stick my toes in that stagnant pool. But I genuinely think GTA RP is entertaining, and it can be a good way to make friends and have fun. Obviously playing it, I don't think you're going to make friends in XQC's Twitch chat. But anyway, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.